All right, welcome back, Palace. You will never guess who is in the house, y'all. You asked, and I delivered. We have Marquez Burnett, Love and Marriage Huntsville star here. Marquez, welcome. I pulled up.
Hey, and I pulled up too.
I pulled up.
Thank you, Queen Shiba. Hello, everybody.
Yeah, no problem. The people want to talk to you. The people want to see you. What you got?
I mean, I got whatever you want to talk about. I'm here to be open, honest, and, get the people what they want.
We can talk about anything?
We can talk about anything.
Y'all heard him.
Anything that doesn't compromise the integrity of the show.
Okay.
And the integrity of my family.
All right. Well, I'm ready to go if you are.
But I did, since I do pay attention, and I know that people said that I didn't come to, the graduation with anything. So I just want to make sure I didn't come empty-handed. So I came.
What? And
I paid attention, and I heard that you said...
Wait a minute,
what I heard,
Palace.
she said a way to a woman's heart is... Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Give me a second.
Okay, give him a second.
I just want y'all to know that I do pay attention.
He came bearing gifts. Honey, I'm here for it.
I pay attention to the kids.
I like a good gift.
Hey, and look, it's not an expensive gift.
Okay.
Well, it could be.
Okay, I'm jumping out of line.
Queen Shiba said a way to a woman's heart is chips.
I love potato chips.
And queso.
Yes.
She said margaritas, but I don't have margaritas.
I said a Texas girl.
Yeah.
Oh.
But instead, we got a big bottle of Prosecco.
Let me see that.
So let's pop that bottle.
Oh, my. Okay. Listen.
Chips and queso. Right?
Y'all.
And margaritas, but we not drinking margaritas because we in Atlanta. We drinking Prosecco.
Listen, I'm sorry.
We listen and we don't judge.
All right. We listen and we don't judge.
Let's pop that bottle.
Is absolutely adorable. You want to pop it?
Let's pop it.
Okay,
because we gonna have a nice. It's a big bottle too, y'all.
It's a
and I didn't have to borrow no money for that or nothing. It's all me.
Okay,
All
listen.
right,
very
you gotta
thoughtful.
tap the bottle. That's how we do it. You gotta tap it. All right, yeah, that's for good luck.
All right, y'all, we are starting off.
Let's start it
great.
off.
You know what, Marquez?
What's up?
Hell no.
Chips and queso.
You know what?
I'll pay attention.
Y'all, are you single?
I am single.
No, you not. You married.
No, I'm single. I'm single.
Y'all, he married, but his wife got a boyfriend. Let's talk about it.
Hey, hold on.
He's married, but you know what? If you were single,
according
I
to
would hook you
Marcel,
up.
I'm married, but I identify as single, and Marcel is...
You cannot identify.
Marcel is single and married, and is identified as married. Pop the bottle on that. Let's go.
Okay.
Oh, hold on. I'm supposed to do ladies first. Ooh.
We going.
All right, let's go, Queen Shiba. Whatever you want to ask, let's do it.
We going.
I just want to. I want to fill my cup.
All right, thank you. Did you say Marceau is married but identifies as single?
He is married but identifies as single.
Do you know that for a fact?
Everything is all alleged in my opinion.
Okay.
Disclaimer.
Ooh.
You're not finna get me
cheers.
today. Cheers.
To a great interview, and thank you.
Thank you, Queen Shiba, for having me.
Cheers. All right.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. You said you identify as single, but you're married, right?
I am currently married, but only because I had to contest it based on how it was filed, which is actually contentious, which led to a lot of things that have occurred over the last few days that I can't speak about. But yeah, church decided to file the paperwork and said that we have no children together. And so people always ask about the divorce. I think us getting divorced has never been an issue. It's just that we never talked about it. I think this TV stuff kind of forced her into actually having to deal with it and forced me into have to have the conversation because I chose to leave the marriage. So it's nothing holding me back, but now we're at a point now where she perjured herself and she tried to say we didn't have children. Otherwise, our divorce papers would have been filed. So until we get it resolved, which she's trying to say that she had it resolved, but she's lying. So
she lied?
She lied. And she pulled out false paperwork. And I think in months to come, you guys will see. I have the paperwork too. I brought receipts today. Hold on, I brought receipts today, y'all. I'm telling you right now. I'm not a messy person.
I am.
But we're at a point now where I'm bringing receipts. I got receipts, so whatever you want, I got it.
I want to see the receipts.
So you want to see the paperwork now?
Give me a second.
Okay.
I'm going to get there.
Because it's a little early.
Okay, give me.
Okay.
You know what? You challenged me. Give it to me.
Let's go.
If you wouldn't have said that, pictures.
Oh, yeah. So you guys will see. This is the divorce paperwork that was sent to my grandmother's house that I never received.
Let me see the address so I can make sure I can verify.
It's in Huntsville, Alabama.
Family court. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
So originally, the paperwork that you guys saw on the episode, I brought, right? Nobody knew, and that was the initial filing. It was more or less the initial start of it, right?
Okay.
And then that would have led to the paperwork, which would have led to us signing it in front of a notary, which I didn't. So she signed it. And let's be clear, guys. I was joking about the $400, but I mean, we might as well go half, whatever. Like, that's fine. But I don't have no problem paying. It was a joke. That was a friendly joke.
Okay.
So like,
so they're gonna, let me tell you, I'm already thinking ahead. They're gonna say, Queen Sheba, you did not open the envelope. Open the envelope. I'm not gonna read what's on the paper.
No, it's personal and private, but I'm gonna show you.
I need to lay my eyes up on it.
So here's the thing.
Let me see. Why you doing? Here's the thing.
They said we have no minor children together.
I'm not gonna go through it all. I just need to make sure.
Look at the date. Look and see who filed it. You can read it. It's not a problem. But people will see otherwise. They're gonna want to portray that the documents that I had originally, right?
Okay.
They're presenting documents.
Okay.
They're presenting documents to me as of 2 days ago, saying that this is a lie and that never occurred.
Okay.
You're seeing it first. But you guys gonna see it somewhere else, and so you believe it when you see it.
Hold on,
just know those documents were modified.
Because you know we deal with receipts now. Hold on, I ain't gonna read nothing out loud.
Here, let me show you. You see the decree. You gotta read where it says no children.
Okay, I saw it. Thank you.
Okay,
that's it.
So which means had I signed that, mind you, had I signed that, I would have had to prove that I have children. Right? So we have an 11-year-old daughter and a 19-year-old son.
Do you think it was an oversight or do you think it was by design?
It was by design. You can't oversight that. That's a very candid question. Do you have children under the age of 18 in this marriage? You can't oversight that.
Why do you think she would oversight that on purpose, intentionally?
Because I think she thought I was going to read it and she thought I could just sign it and get away with it. And then that way it would create more issues with me when it comes to seeing my daughter.
Okay.
Because had I signed that, imagine me signing that, and then I go to the school to pick up my daughter, and they say, "Sir, you're not on the list." And then I'm saying, "I don't care. I'm the dad." And they say, "Well, sir, according to this paperwork, you say y'all have no minor children." So now I have to go to court, right? I have to go to court just to see my daughter
and to reestablish custodial rights.
To reestablish custodial rights because if I basically ignored it, then I basically gave her rights through omission or whatever, through the fact. But no, the thing is I didn't even notice that. Because when I went to the courthouse—
Who caught it?
The court clerk. I said, ma'am, I'm here to sign these divorce papers, but I want to make sure that we have a custody situation because I don't know, I can't really understand. She said, well, sir, according to this, she said y'all have no minor children. And I said, I'm like, huh? No minor children? How is that possible? We have a 10-year-old at the time. My son's 18, so I can understand that part. And she's like, no, sir, if you sign this, then basically you're going to sign over saying y'all have no children, you have to reestablish paternity.
Would that have given her access to child support?
No, because how's she going to have child support if she's
That's what I just want to explain both sides.
If anything, I could get child support because according to her, I'm broke. I should be getting alimony and child support if I really want to go. But that's a whole nother situation because we are in a whole different space now as of the last 2 days because a lot has occurred. Okay, based on your experience, right, before we really get into it, because we already into it, what advice would you give men? We're not talking about baby mama, baby daddy. We're talking about men or women that may be going through a divorce. What advice would you give regarding legal documents? Keep them. Keep the receipts.
And read them.
And read them.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can't read them, find somebody that can read them.
Okay.
And that can not just read them, but interpret them.
Okay.
Because reading is fundamental, but also understanding is fundamental. So if you don't understand, then you don't know what to do. And I think a lot of us get under that pressure and we get in under this situation. We're like, oh, I need to, and just imagine me and us and everybody's, oh, y'all don't get this divorce done. I could have just been like, you know what? Everybody wants us to get divorced. But for me, my whole intention from the ending was to make sure that it was established how I'm going to co-parent with my daughter. And because I tried to do it without going to the courts and it didn't work, at this moment, since we're here, I need to make sure that visitation and all that's established. I never wanted to do that. I never felt like I should have to do that because I didn't come from that.
Let's pause for a second.
Oh, pause. Hold on, wait.
Wait a minute. We got the pause merch.
Pause.
You can find it on www.queenshiba.com. Let's pause. Are you currently dating? Keep it real.
I'm currently focused on myself and my children. So I'm open, but not actively. I'm not worried
But you're
about
open.
that. I'm open, yeah, for sure.
Okay,
I'm
divorce versus separated. Should couples be dating or in relationships when they are legally married, in your opinion?
I think that's all dependent. I think it's all dependent on your situation.
Really?
Yeah, because I think there are some situations where people need that time to separate to figure it out because not everybody's meant to like. I mean, sometimes people need that separation, right? But then sometimes people know it's over, right? And then if there's a certain time period where you know neither one of y'all are getting back together, first of all, we're men and women. We got needs, right?
Hold on. What kind of needs? We grown.
Emotional, physical, sexual, all of the needs that we require as human beings, right? And men and women, the attraction that we have. We even if it's just friendship, even if it's conversation, well, we know that's going to lead to something that may be physical, then so be it. But I don't think you should be actively cheating. I don't think you should just be leading someone on. So one person is over here saying, "Oh, I'm really trying to work it out," and the other person's like, "F you." If be real, and then if you're going to separate. But I don't think that should stop you from truly finding someone. Yeah, but I think you should be fully separate. I mean, fully divorced before you move into a real relationship.
Are you making up rules as you go?
I make rules every day as I go.
Say, thank you.
This is my world.
Did you get married in a church?
I got married in the courthouse.
And
here's the irony of that. Y'all want to hear something crazy?
Here we go.
So let's just start out. When me and Trish met in high school, I was in the 10th grade. She was in the 9th grade. Never really talked to her. 11th grade came. Then senior year came.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally, she came into the office. I was a senior aide in the front office. She came into the office and she got into it with the secretary, like a whole blow up. And I never seen her.
She got into it with a secretary?
With the secretary. But the secretary was wrong. She was on some BS. She
Gotcha.
came to bring a note from the class or whatever. And I never seen her, like I seen her like beat up girls in school. Like Trish, look, I'm gonna tell you one thing. Don't play with Trish.
Trish should be fighting?
Hey, look.
Wow.
Look. Yeah, I don't want them problems. I'm not even being funny. She's got a lot of issues, anger, and she grew up fighting. So when she's controlling her anger and when she says that, I truly like, you don't. That's not the point. But the point is, I saw her in a vulnerable moment. I went down to the cafeteria for the first time, and I said, for some reason, I was like, you know what, you want to go to prom in front of all her friends. Mind you, Trish is like everybody look up to her because she's this, you know. She got a lot of personality. She was even strong back then, just on some athletic stuff. And she said, yeah. And we went to prom. On my prom day, she actually missed my prom because she had to get her hair done twice.
Wait a minute. You asked her to prom. Mm-hmm. She accepted, but she missed the prom.
She went to prom with somebody else first.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Does that sound familiar? You know what? Y'all not going to play with me. Hold on. Fast forward how many years later, y'all are married, and now she living with somebody else but married to you. So she
I get in details. It's always
sounds
something.
like a...
Yeah, from day one, it was always something, but I didn't, I grew up in the church. I grew up different. Like I said, we come from two different backgrounds. Whatever. I think I was attracted to the conflict and the things that she had going on.
Was it the conflict or was it the physical aesthetics?
It was definitely, man, look, can I cuss?
Yeah,
my daddy said I was pussy whipped. I think my dad said that was the first piece of good pussy you probably had.
Was that your first time?
No.
But that was your first wow?
I think so.
You think so?
I think so.
Do you feel like you got turned out?
She didn't turn me out. I think I turned her out, but she definitely had something. She had something that was good enough that I had to be like, hey, maybe we should spend some more time together.
I hone in on the psychological and the behavioral traits of the Black experience.
She got me, But also, like I said, my mindset, I want people to understand this was in 2002 and 3. I want people to understand this was pre-social media.
So y'all were teenagers doing all this?
We were teenagers.
Just
getting it in. Leaving at lunchtime. Going to mama's house. Mama go to work. Hey, pull up. Lunchtime, we out. So I had a car at 16.
Were you in love at that age?
I was in lust.
Okay.
I had a moment because how can you know what love is? How do you know what love is truly at 16 and 17? It was lust, for sure. I just wanted to fuck.
So is Ken and love and lust based on a good piece of pee your daddy said you had?
Ken is delusional. I don't know what he is.
Based on what you had?
I don't know what he got going on over there. I couldn't tell you. She done had 2 babies since then, and we had a lot of sex since then, so I don't know what it's hitting like. I don't know. I think Ken is just Ken is who he is, and whatever. I don't think he's in it for the right reasons.
Let me ask you this. I
need a drink.
So I know Trish put you on ice and let you thaw out while she went to prom with another guy, even though y'all were young. That's funny, right? That's cool. That's being kids. But that behavior has seemed to evolve with her as an adult. So with Martell, are you shocked that she was allegedly with Martell Hope?
No, of course not. I wasn't shocked because I heard her talking about it. Look, people, let me tell y'all something. This whole Martell Trish situation.
Is that fiction or myth?
No.
That's a fact?
It's a fact.
That's a fact.
Yeah. And it spawned out of there, from what I was told is when they filmed together, what y'all saw was very much a real moment.
A what?
Production of them introduction, it was a very weird moment. So production picked up on it, and that's why it became a storyline. Because they didn't know that there was weird energy. So the weird energy led to this. So like y'all have to understand, this whole Martell Trish situation came from them being weird.
And somebody picked up on
the production picked
up
on, and Stormy picked up on something ain't right, and all because she felt some type of way. And yeah, and that whole situation, which is I think is the irony in that, is crazy because I feel like me and Melody have very much parallel stories. You know, I think mine is accelerated, right? But Melody spent years and years of just being torn down, shitted on, disrespected, with someone who's a narcissist, doesn't care. I spent my whole marital life with the same situation, but not on TV. So now we've accelerated within a year and a half, and people are just now starting to understand what I'm going through. And I don't think a lot of people are really understanding like what I'm really dealing with.
Let me ask you this. I want to go back because I like...
You're not sipping your champagne.
Okay, I'm coming
I'm getting
now.
tipsy, and I don't want to be the only one.
I like to deal in facts.
Okay, all right, let's go.
Was your wife married when she slept with Martell Hope? Yes or no?
Yes.
Was Martell Hope married when your wife slept with Martell Hope? Allegedly, yes or no?
Yes.
Was your wife dealing with Ken when she allegedly slept with Martell Hope? Yes or no?
I can't. I don't know I don't know the interactions between that, so I can't speak on that. But I would assume they would overlap. Yes, because there was a gym. So there's a gym called Phase 3 in Huntsville. It opened right before there was 24E. Then it was Phase 3. Trish was in the gym scene, so all of these men, Martell, Ken, all spawned from the gym scene. She didn't meet anyone until she got into the gym. We all went to the same school, Butler, right? Martez, the brother, she's that age. She's around that age. She knows him. Martell was my senior quarterback when I was a freshman.
Okay.
He left, went to Alabama A&M. I went through there. When I got to A&M, he was leaving A&M. So we haven't really interlapped, but the family in Huntsville and the dynamic, they all know each other.
Gotcha.
But Trish doesn't know Martell personally until that gym came about.
Okay.
Yeah.
I need to ask you a question because we got to be fair. Did you step outside of your marriage?
Did I step outside of my marriage? Who knows?
That's a yes or no. We got to keep it real. We grown. You got to be fair.
Does it matter?
Yes, it does. You know what? Because it established character. It established transparency.
I've had moments. Yes, I had moments.
Thank you for being honest.
I had moments, but I'm okay. All right, let's be clear. All right, since we want to be honest, I was faithful from 19.
You don't got to run
32.
It down. You ain't got to run it down.
I'm just saying, if you want to,
because I don't want you to get caught up.
I can't get caught up because I don't care. You said you want me to be honest.
Okay, go ahead, run it down.
You had me to where I wanted to be reserved, but if we kinging and queening and we're gonna keep it 100,
we're gonna keep it 100.
I had my moments.
Okay,
but infidelity was never an issue.
Until when?
It was never an issue. My issue is not about her.
You said I have my moments.
When I say issue, it was a never issue in our marriage. That was
so
not
you kept
something.
It player.
I never got. There's no evidence. I never got caught, and we never had a conversation about it.
Gotcha. You were in and out, and you kept it respectful.
And it only occurred based on the years and years of resentment of trying, us being not compatible sexually at the time, us not finances. It was only so much I could do, and I felt at that moment, which wasn't. I can't say it's mature. I can't make no excuse for it, but I think at that moment I was searching for something to relieve me, to not allow me to be aggressive, domestic violence. You know, I think that was my release from being in a situation where I couldn't handle, because you can't go through, as a man, you can't go through everything with the finances, the mental and all that, and the sexual, and then you just don't have nothing. So then anybody, and I'm gonna tell you one thing, I'm gonna be honest, anybody I ever talked to and dealt with, I always wore my ring. So no,
so they were fully made aware.
I never lied. No one can ever say that I lied and didn't know I was married.
Well, I have somebody here.
Okay, bring them.
Brookie, can you get her?
Let's go. Let me take another drink.
I'm just fucking with you.
Let's go. Where's she at? Let's go. I hope she got the video. Because I probably got it in my phone. I ain't worried. Bring her. Is it Melody?
I wouldn't do you like that.
Where she at? Is Melody?
Boy, you had to...
Woo woo.
That boy was scared. That was funny, huh?
I'm not scared.
Was that hilarious?
No, I was excited. I want to know who it was. Like, you did your research for real.
No, I'm just kidding.
No, I don't condone cheating, but it is what it is. We got to be realistic. At that moment in time, I had never cheated. I was afraid. Like I said, I grew up in the church, and I think at that moment I was seeking for just a release and an opportunity. And like I said, I never lied to anybody I dealt with.
So let me ask you this.
Sorry, let me put my phone.
No problem. Just real quick.
She got me out telling. I almost said, hey, look, y'all don't be coming out the woodworks talking about y'all messing with me. Like,
let me tell you what about my audience. They appreciate honesty. We can respect an honest. You get ahead of it. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Before somebody else does. And that's the goodness of this conversation. Let me ask you this. When you said, you talked about the needs of a man, is it hard for a man to restrain himself within a marriage? Let's say you didn't have all of that you were going through financially, not being able to connect with your wife emotionally. Is it still a challenge for a man if he's receiving all of those things?
No.
No?
No, not at all. Because I know men that don't cheat.
Okay.
And I never wanted to cheat. I spent years, bro, listen, all we want, we just want to feel respected and loved. That's it. All that other stuff with the feeding and all that, like respecting and love, because respect and love, obviously loyalty comes with that. And then all the enjoyment of life, because life is too short. And I think we get caught up in all of the BS of life and the kids and the work and all that. And we lose sight of like who we first were, right? So I can go back and look at me and Trish and think about the basketball moments and all the moments in the car when we were like kids and that was like the in love part, right? But it wasn't like the in love of being a 30-year-old or a 39-year. It's a different type of love because it's a different appreciation for life because we know it's short, right? So like the love that I'm looking for now, like you ain't not thinking about cheating. You're not thinking about none of that because for one, we communicate and we keep it at 1,000, right? And when you're not in that space where you trust each other and know each other, you're not gonna ever keep it 1,000. It's not gonna work. And I think a lot of us faking. I got the answer.
What's your love language?
Physical touch and quality time.
If you had to prioritize, which one would be first?
Quality time.
Quality time.
But that comes with physical touch, because if we spend time, we're going to be touching.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you make that known?
Always. And and guess what? I was always the one that had to initiate sex. I was always one that had to initiate a hug. I was always one that had to apologize. And I'm telling you, after 10, 12 years of apologizing and initiating sex, there was a time where I didn't even want to have sex. I'm good. Now, I'm like, damn, am I ugly? Because I'm not cheating either. Right, mind you, I was still in the church. I grew up Adventist. So my mindset, too, was also, I'm going to go to hell, right? All this other things
they
that
had
I
you
grew
scared.
Up, they had me scared. And I also think, like, you know, I just didn't know how it was going to work out if I were to start dealing with a woman. I just didn't want those problems, right? But I honestly think that Trish didn't care because there were moments where they put me on a Sis Is This Your Man website.
A
right?
what?
Sis Is This Your Man on Facebook.
Okay. What?
Right,
you was out there bad?
Yeah. Some girl said something about he said he wanted to sit on my face.
You was out there
or
bad.
something. I mean, I was wilding a little bit towards the end.
Okay.
But at that moment, I don't think it wasn't about that. I think I was seeking just validation and wanted to be, you know, received as a man, right? And then also just nurtured and catered and loved. But Trish she don't have that, right? So
Do you have that? Can you give that?
Always.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm very nurturing and catered. I'm very loving. Like I'm that guy who's gonna rub your feet, cook for you, and put you to sleep.
Okay, I think I know what you're talking about.
I'm gonna put you to sleep and I'm gonna wake you up too.
Okay. Everybody, so that's your experience of who you are. Would that be her experience of what she received from you in that marriage?
No, I think for her, she was just caught up in life and everything else. I think for her, it was the only time she became feminine is when she laid down on her back.
Is when she what?
Laid on her back. That was the only time she became feminine.
That's tough.
And that's real tough, especially from someone who's very loving and affectionate and just want to be loved on. You know, and then what that does to a man, right, is eventually he starts becoming cold and he don't even bother. You know what I'm saying? So for years, like, I always came into the mindset, I know she got these issues and I hope that, like, okay, this wall's going. I used to ask her, when is your wall going to come down? Give me time, right? But eventually, at what point is a man supposed to, how long are you supposed to deal with a woman that's broken or a man that's broken?
What vows did you say in the courthouse?
What vows?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever the court guy said.
You don't remember?
No.
That's how long?
For better or worse, thick or thin, death do us part, whatever.
So that would answer your question.
What was my question? Because I lost my...
You said, how long is a man supposed to put up with a woman? I said, what vows? For better or worse, to death do us part.
And no, I disagree.
Okay. Well, that's your vow. You said it, I didn't.
Okay, when we come to these vows, who made these vows? Are these godly vows or these man-made gods? Are these man-made? Okay, so hindsight, right? Growing up in the church and where I am today, you should value you as an individual and the person that you're with. I feel like it should be 100, give or take 10%, man and woman, right? If you're going through a situation in life with someone where you're not happy, you're not compatible, right? Equally yoked, whatever you want to call it, then you should not stay in it forever because it's detrimental, right? I understand the vows, right? And that's what I thought. But when your mental health and your children's mental health and their physical well-being and their financial well-being is at stake and no one is getting nowhere, and when you're trying and you're taking every avenue, whether it's a man or a woman, I don't agree whether it's a woman that's going through the same thing. I think the difference is you guys are not seeing a man go through the same stuff that a lot of women go through. And that's
Let's talk about it.
And that's why I'm resonating so much with people, because they see me as their baby father or the one, and that's the exact opposite. I'm actually the baby mama. I'm the one going through the bullshit.
Hold on. What you mean you're the baby? Okay, like as far as...
Because when I read the comments, when I've seen how I've been presented is that I'm this man, the deadbeat dad who's been gone. First of all, y'all don't listen, context clues. I said I left my family. I should have never said that because that wasn't the correct term that resonated, right?
What should you have said?
I left the marital situation. I moved upstairs. I kept everything kosher with my kids and did the best thing I could do to co-parent, right? I left the marital home a year later.
That sounds way better.
I left the marital home, right? Never left my children, never abandoned them, never stopped talking to them, never did anything. This woman is broken and hurt and spending all this time pouring into my daughter and my son all this negativity while at the same time I'm coming over there cooking for them. I'm doing everything to keep it. I'm picking them, taking them to school, but then eventually I have to work. Okay, so I'm working a high-level corporate job. And eventually they're like, you know what, Marquez? We need you in Houston, Monday through Friday.
How long were you in Houston?
5 years.
Okay.
5 years, right by the Galleria. I work for Bechtel, the largest construction privately owned company. I'm one of the only first black males to be an expediter. You can Google it. I can show you my resume. I don't have to prove anything, right? But I feel like I have to express it based on what's being presented, right? My stance is I never wanted to be on TV. I don't care about being famous, right? But we're here now, and they're playing on my name, my character, my legacy, my children. And so I had to defend myself, right?
I want you to be completely honest. There are some people that feel like y'all still love each other. And pause. If your wife came to you 18 months from now, Ken is no longer in the picture, he's been gone for a year, and she says, I made a mistake. I recognize the error in my ways. I'm in therapy. I'm in counseling. I would like to give our family another shot. Would you be open?
No. I'm good. I'm straight.
You wouldn't be open at all?
I spent 12 years figuring it out. We're not compatible.
Okay.
I love you to death. I love you to life, Trish. No. I've been around enough women. And when I say that, not on no whole shit. I've been around enough quality grown women that have shown me, right, that what I deserve as a man, right? And then that way I can pour into them because I'm gonna always be me. My mom always told me I was gonna be a great husband.
Okay.
I just didn't so happen to marry the right one.
What are some things you wish you would have done differently in the marriage? In hindsight.
Set boundaries and respect from day one.
What does that look like? Take your time.
I was very passive aggressive. She was very emasculating. So I put up with certain things that I should have never put up with.
Give us one example. Take your time.
It was always a guy in the situation. One of the things that stick out is just one of the first instances when we were in high school, before we even had kids. I let her borrow my car. And she's in high school, I'm in college, and I'm working like one of them little like jobs where they go around and they sell knives at the doors and stuff. Mm-hmm. And so I get off, and mind you, I tell her, hey, I get off at 10, you need to be here. She go out with her friends. She's in high school. She driving her car, my car. She pulls up at 10:30, not giving a fuck. And then she's over here like, who's your boy? Like on some disrespectful shit on like, who's my coworker?
Oh.
On some like in front of me while you're late. And then, so I'm like, hold on. That was one of the first things that sticks out of my mind before any of this shit. The first amount of disrespect was always some guy where she felt like she could either flirt with him. She used to give out her numbers. She used to like walk ahead of me in the mall. She used to do everything that made me feel like I was less than, right? I feel like that was her tactic of breaking me down and be like, okay, yeah, he's this handsome dude, but hey, what she would say is what's good for the goose is good for the gander. We never talked about infidelity. I never even thought she was jealous.
What about anything in a marriage that stands out? Before, I get the teen stuff.
In the marriage?
Mm-hmm, that stood out.
Not the same amount of disrespect.
Okay, gotcha.
One of the incidences when we were married, I was working at Marital, actually, as a manager in the Scene Lounge. Marcel was the manager at the movie theater. And they would give us tickets, free tickets every day. So Trish was working at SAIC, which is what my stepmother got her internship. That's how she got into NASA. So my stepmother had a program where they would bring high schoolers in, give them an internship. Trish was pretty. She was smart. She had went to the military, and then she, had this point where she could get a job on some intern stuff. She got into this position, and then she's obviously young, fit, attractive. She's going to work.
So she's always been fit?
Yeah. Okay, but not like that. Gotcha. But Trish always had a body. So that's one thing about her. She always had nice shape, period. I think the only difference is she got abs.
Gotcha.
Like the whole shape and all that's all the same.
Okay.
She was in, working, and she was wearing stuff with her stomach out, and she got in trouble because she didn't have no etiquette when it come to corporate. So you got these grown men who are lusting over her, and one guy, his name is Ira Lacey. You don't have to put that in there, but Ira, right, is somebody who I won't forget, which is one of the first work grown man who was on her head.
Were y'all married?
We were super married.
Ira, what were you doing, Ira?
Ira Lacey.
Ira caught a stray.
So what? So I find out through the text that they've been talking, he's been taking her lunch, and she's kind of like, she's one of the type that'll play in your face. Oh, he's just my friend, blah, blah, blah. And one thing I will never forget, man, I knew at the point that he was trying to talk to her because I found messages of him like, you know what time it is. She's like, hey, can you get some movie tickets for my friend? Do you know this girl had me beg me for these movie tickets just for me to take these movie tickets to this dude, Ira, and his 2 kids?
You drove the tickets to a man's house?
No, I was working. So I was working in the Scene Lounge as a manager, as a chef. So the Scene Lounge is the restaurant part. So because we get daily tickets, so while I was working, she was begging me, can you get my friend these tickets? Can you get my friend these tickets? And, while I'm at work, this is like during matinee time. And I'm like, all right, I got you. I don't know who it is. And I go outside to take the tickets and this dude. So the amount of disrespect and playing in my face has always been.
How come you just didn't walk back in and be like, hell no?
I was pussy. My nuts didn't drop. I just didn't.
Really?
I didn't. Yeah. I for one, I was taken aback. For 2, I just couldn't believe, you know what I'm saying? I felt like, yeah, my nuts didn't drop. My nuts didn't drop.
So you can understand Ken's position somewhat. If you were wooed, is it safe to say he's being wooed as well?
No, Ken's a simp. Ken's an opportunist. I think Ken needs a place to stay. No, he's not wooed. First of all, Ken, I got receipts because Ken got hoes.
Okay, I need to see.
Oh, let me show you the messages.
I need to see.
Ken, stop playing. You got hoes.
I need to see.
He's playing with my children. This is how I feel.
Have you shown this to anybody else?
No.
Okay, let me see.
You're getting everything.
Let me see.
Let's keep talking while I pull it up.
Go ahead.
I got the video. You want to see the video of Trish and Ken interacting?
I just want to see the hoes.
Okay, let's see the hoes.
That's it. I just want to see the hoes. So listen.
Why are you talking? Let me pull these.
This man is with your wife, whom you're still married to, in your home with your children, How does this impact their mental well-being? Do they understand what's happening? Or do you think this may cause a bit of confusion with kids in the house saying, my mom is married to my dad, but
they're very confused.
My mom has a boyfriend and her boyfriend got hoes, allegedly.
They're very confused.
We're gonna, you know what, y'all? Give us about 30 seconds. We'll be right back. All right, so I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say he was in communication with the woman. I'm not sure where it was headed. It started off as friendly. I'm gonna just leave it there. It started off as friendly. I didn't see too much that was
I'm gonna tell you what us guys do. You can call it grooming, you can call it fishing. Testing the water.
Well, I did see the lady sent her number.
Testing the water.
But it seemed like there was a kind gesture that he was contemplating doing on the behalf of him and Trish.
Why are you talking to a fan? Why are you talking to somebody who you don't know, who lives here in Atlanta with me and that actually knows me personally? And why are you sending dick pics too?
You feel some kind of way because your wife got him?
No, I feel some type of way because he's using my kids and my friend as a pawn. I don't care about none of that.
Okay.
But don't use my children as a pawn and don't sit here and act like you want to marry her and that you're this great guy and that you're this, and this, right? Go somewhere else and play with somebody else's kids.
If you met a woman and you were dating her for a year.
I'm sorry, I'm looking for this receipt.
Don't worry about it. And you were dating her for a year, right? And y'all are in a really what you consider a very healthy relationship post-divorce. She has children. Y'all decide y'all are going to get married. Do you feel like that's the right time to meet her daughter?
You say, how long have we been knowing? How long?
A year. And then you move in.
Time? Mm-hmm. I don't think you should put a time frame on it. I think it should definitely be within, it shouldn't be, okay, when I say time frame, you definitely need to know who you're dealing with. So if we're going to say a year, yes. Yeah, I think a year is enough time. I think 6 months is enough time. But I also think that if there's an active father involved, then he should be introduced and y'all should know before anybody, right? The father should be introduced before the child is introduced, in my opinion.
I agree with you in a perfect world. But because y'all are commingling while y'all are married, it's like, whatever.
But if you're getting serious, listen, any woman that I've ever dealt with, I don't want to meet your kids. We could spend a whole year together. I don't have to meet your kids. I could even send you money for your kids. But I don't want to meet them because I love kids. And I understand once you get implemented into that, then it's way deeper than just you two. So I feel like if you're going to introduce, then you guys should at least be thinking we're going to be together. Whether it's girlfriend or boyfriend, you can't be here playing house. You definitely can't bring somebody and move them in and not sure if you even want to be with them. While
you're single or married, it doesn't matter.
It don't matter. It don't matter. But what I realize is that to each his own. But in my perfect world and what I would have wanted, let's talk first.
Okay, what's best for the kids? Because I know the adults, y'all are doing whatever y'all want to do. What is best for the kids? If you really keep it real, what's best for the kids?
Are we talking about pre or post?
It don't matter.
What's best for the kids is open communication and letting them know what we're doing, right? And not lying, not thinking that they're kids and they don't pay attention and they don't know shit. Having real, genuine conversations.
Your son said, your wife said, they were talking, and then she said, we're going to get a divorce. And your son said, yeah. She said, oh, really? How did you know? He said, my father told me.
Because I always keep it real.
Okay.
And that's her problem. She wants to lie and sugarcoat it, and these kids are not stupid. And I knew that from the time that I removed myself from that marital home, I stopped talking to my kids like kids. Because I knew she wasn't going to, my ex was not going to be nurturing enough to hold them to a point where they are not overly exposed. She did not care. My son was playing Grand Theft Auto at 3 years old, okay? And I got into a big-ass fight because I didn't come from that. Why are you letting a 3-year-old play Grand Theft Auto? So for
How come y'all didn't talk about parenting before y'all got married? Or is it because y'all just got together so young?
Because we're children. Nobody, there's no, there's no blueprint to this. Well, you know there ain't no bluept to this. We in love and we don't want to hear nothing they got to say. Pussy good, dick good. At that moment, nobody care.
Just fucking shit up.
Just fucking shit up, and don't and ain't listening to nobody. And we sit here and you hear the old folks. Oh man, right? That's even more motivation. My dad told me the day I was getting married that it won't last 5 years.
But it did,
and it did subconsciously because I knew I should have been married after the first year.
Because you were too young, or what?
Because we weren't compatible. We weren't equally yoked. I was forcing it. I felt sorry for her.
Come on, Marquez.
I'm being honest. And I was pussy whipped, and I felt sorry for her. And
you felt sorry for her?
Yes.
You were a child. Both of y'all. How can you feel sorry for a teenager when you're a teenager?
Because I didn't come from that. I didn't come from the dysfunction she came from. I didn't come from all the drama. When I came and sat around her, it was like gossiping like we gossiping now. Imagine sitting on your mama's lap and listening to your mama.
No.
Imagine listening to your mama gossip to her best friend and you sit on her lap and you not paying attention, but you paying attention, right? And you feeling that energy and you like, girl, yeah, you in your mind like, mama, you right. I'm over here doing the same thing. Like, yeah, girl, because I didn't come from that. I didn't come from dysfunction. And that doesn't take away from her, right? One thing about me is I understood the traumas. The difference is most men and most people don't understand. I listened to understand, and I brought it into my life to where I stopped caring about my family and I cared about her family more than mine.
I feel like water seeks its own level. And even though you felt like you didn't come from that, could there be a way that somewhere in your generational line that you actually came from that?
No.
No? Why would you pick that?
Stubborn, didn't listen. I felt like I knew what I was doing. God took me through this to make me a better man, period. Like, if you look at my lineage, we not cursed. And that's not, and like I said, that's honest. I talked to my grandma. My grandma's 96. Her mother died at 99. Her brother's 99. My grandfather was a great, he was one of the first black men to be within the union in L.A. Like, I come from, my dad discovered L.A. Reid, Babyface. Like, I come from a long lineage of men and strong, and then Christian women, right? My grandma her family was with Ellen G. White at Oakwood, Adventism. You know what I'm saying? So I look at the generational curses, I look at my lineage, and I don't come from that. Don't mean we don't have issues, right? But I didn't come from certain traumatic issues.
You have siblings?
I have 2 brothers.
You feel like they married better than you?
I feel like none of them accomplished anything better than me.
Oh, shit. They gonna hear this.
And that's not a shot.
No, they gonna hear this.
My oldest brother I don't deal with. My middle brother, he's a great guy. Like, he's just one of the ones who's a photographer, carefree. He's a great uncle.
Gotcha.
My oldest brother, not so much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that because of how y'all were reared? What's going on with you boys?
Well, I think because my mom and dad weren't together, because my dad was in the music industry. He was very much a pioneer in the old school music industry. Like I said, he was the manager of Midnight Star, The Deal, Commodores. He discovered L.A. Reid, Babyface. So I grew up around all of that. I grew up in the studio. He was a Rolling Stone, or whatever you want to call it, but he didn't have multiple children other than with my mom. My mom had 3 biological children, same mom, same dad. We don't look alike. But my mom was a dancer, like a
go-go.
Go-go, yeah. She's centerfold, beautiful. My mom's light skinned with gray eyes, body, all that, right? So they got together, but my mom was a person of integrity, and she was like, "Hey, look, we not together, but these kids are yours." So when I grew up,
were they married?
They were never married, but I never knew that.
Ooh.
I grew up thinking that they had.
Did they live in the same house?
No, but they lived in the same house in California until we moved to Ohio. I knew they weren't together, right? Because my dad was in the phase of when LaFace records started, the 90s and all that stuff. So he the 80s into the 90s, he was full-fledged role manager, mentor, all this other stuff.
So you didn't come up in a 2-parent household?
No. But my daddy called, my daddy pulled up, and in my mind, hindsight, I didn't think nothing was wrong with it. But when I married Trish, I did realize my daddy didn't teach me how to change brakes. He didn't teach me how to ride a bike. He didn't teach me how to drive a car. But it didn't affect me until I got with her. Because she told me I wasn't a man because I didn't know how to change brakes or tie. Didn't mean I didn't know how. Didn't mean I couldn't. I wasn't capable, but because I didn't grow up that way, right? Because I didn't want to cut the grass and I wanted to pay my friend. She thought that wasn't manly. Because I thought I could pay somebody to do the brakes. She would basically chastise me and emasculate me as in, you're not a man because you don't do this because my father did this.
Was it emasculation or was it expectation?
It was emasculation.
Okay.
Because expectation, right? Expectation is given in a way where it can be received. Emasculation is putting you down and making you feeling less than.
Okay, if a woman needed her man to cut the grass, to flex his muscles and do some shit around the house, how should she present that to a man?
Baby, go cut that grass and I'll see you when you get done.
So she have to fuck you to get you to cut the grass?
She ain't got to do that.
You said, I'll see you when you get done.
Listen, ladies.
Okay,
it's not
all
about,
over.
listen, it's not about what you say. It's about how you say it. I don't want to use grass. Let's use trash.
Okay.
Ladies, And we coming from a man perspective. Maybe it's the Prosecco talking, right? Because I'm giving you the real me. Mm-hmm. In my opinion, right? You come to your man, right? And you know you're a cleanly woman. You know how we be in our own little zone. Okay. Right? And you say, you about to go out. You say, baby, take out the trash. I'll be back. Right? That's the first initial. Because you not mad already. You just like, baby, take out the trash. Okay? So, but when you come home, right? And you see that trash is still there. Now, there's one or two ways you can go about this. Okay. Right? We're listening. As a woman, there's one or two ways you can go about this. Number one. Why the fuck you ain't take out the trash? You know it's stinking here. You lazy ass nigga, right? Or, baby, you know it's stinking here. Why you ain't take out the trash? You know, da-da-da-da-da. Like, come on. And in my mind, right? One is hostile. One is like, damn, I fucked up. You know what, baby? Let me take out the trash right now. I'm sorry. And then you could eat. And look, I'm not saying you got to do this every time. I'm not saying, because obviously people are lazy and they don't listen, right? Sometimes you got to get in our ass, right? But when we're talking about the core of respect and understanding your mate, right? Blowing one thing that could be out of proportion into something that becomes a full-blown argument. Some women would say that are tuned in, that sounds like a mom. That sounds like a man that needs a mommy. Are there any men out there that don't need prompting to do things around the house, that just do it? Depends on how they was raised. Depends on... Do you know any? Yes, I know some men who, if their mama raised them to be OCD, they're OCD. I think it comes down to compatibility. But what if their father... Are there men out there... How did you raise your son? There was no blueprint. I think I'm still raising my son, for one. But how I raised my son was, for one, to have respect, keep calm, be clean, you know what I'm saying, wash your ass, clean up. But there was moments in time where obviously he was lazy and he's a boy, right? So I had to get on his ass about that. Right. I raised him just to have a level mindset and not just react on stuff. So when it comes to like cleanliness and all that stuff, I think that was just naturally like, hey, as a parent, like, you don't be dirty, don't stink, clean up your fucking room type shit. I think there are some people who get their ass whooped for being OCD, so they, in turn, that carries over into the relationship and it becomes issues, right? Because I've been with certain women who are so OCD that they might be mad that I moved a towel, but I might be with another one who don't care. I think it comes to compatibility. You know, I think it depends on... Compatibility. Or understanding your role? Both. You got to be compatible first to understand your role. But if you know... Okay, I'm going to come back to this conversation. What are we saying role, though? Why not? I think there's men certain... and women? You saying there should be certain roles set aside for men and women? Absolutely. Okay, on whose standard and who created this? It depends. Exactly. Okay, did you have a traditional marriage? Is that what you wanted and that's what you needed? I had no idea what marriage meant. So you was just out there. I just didn't want baby mama drama. My mind was, for one, my son was an accident, okay? We had condom sex every time. And the day that she got pregnant, I took the condom off and I asked her, I said, I want this baby. We was in college. I said, I want this baby. And are you sure? She said yes. Both of y'all decided y'all wanted a child together. That I asked her in the moment, in the middle. Both of you decided y'all wanted a child. Both of us decided. She said yes. And I'm sure she probably decided based on what was inside of her. Okay. So, listen, but me, I made the decision because I really wanted to. Listen, I got one final question for you. And we're going to have to come back. We're going to do a part 2, y'all. I want you to think about this. What's your role as a man? The fact that God has given you the honor of being born a man, what does that mean to you? Now hindsight, my role of a man is, for one, is to like, okay, role as a man in what are we talking about when it comes to a woman? Just in general? Take your time. I think role as a man for me is to, for one, know who you are, stand on who you are, right? Demand respect, be caring and loving and kind and understanding, right? And when it comes to women, you have to understand them. You have to listen to understand, right? You have to, for us, women are emotional creatures. And for us, I'm an emotional person, but I think now at this 39-year-old me, my emotions are only based on like things that have occurred that I know it's not real. But I think when dealing with a woman, I'm a lot more softer and understanding that, okay, she may be on her period or she may be having a bad day. So I understand too, just sometimes it's okay to take the back seat, be quiet, give you a kiss on the forehead, and keep it moving. I'm very much a nurturing person. I don't like to argue. I don't like to fight. But respect, integrity, honesty, and just really, I want to just live life. Like, I feel like, I'm like Rodney King. Can we just all get along?
No.
Like, why? Why has it got to be so difficult? Queen Shiba, please tell me, why is it so difficult for men and women to get along?
It's not difficult.
Why does it seem like
we make it difficult.
Why?
Because you come with a lot of shit to the table. And I think there's a level of accountability and responsibility. And first of all, doing your work before you pull up to any relationship. Doing your work. You're responsible for that. I'm responsible for that. And showing up as your best self. You get to show up. You get to choose how you show up in the world, whether it's a relationship, in this conversation. That's on you.
But how do you show up as a 16-year-old you and you don't even know yourself? How do you show up as a 17, 18-year-old, 19, 20, 21, 22, and you don't even know what it's like to be with and if you've never been through a relationship, right, and you have nothing to compare with, what do we tell them?
Well, that's why I ask you, what are you imparting into your son?
I'm imparting to my son to, like I said, for one, always be yourself, be true to yourself. Don't allow anyone to change you for who you are and mold you into who they want you to be, right? Be your authentic self and be 100 and 1,000, right? And if they can accept that, then y'all can work through everything else. I think for me, Trish never really accepted who I was, and I'm not sure I accepted who she was. And
Did you accept who you were?
Absolutely. I knew who I was. Okay. And I stood on that. That's why she said you too friendly, and that's why I kept being me. Because it was time, like, she told me that having earrings was unprofessional. But then I saw a message where, oh man, I love to do it with his earrings, right? She would do that type shit. You know, when I was on corporate, 5 years, what I got? Earrings. You see my tattoos? I've been in rooms with billionaires, with heads of companies, and I guarantee they'll never say nothing about my tattoos because they cannot take away who I am. They can't take away my intelligence and my experience. And I used to allow her to think that, oh, I had to look a certain way. But I realized if you are who you are and you stay true to that, and you are a good person, then it's gonna reign true no matter how you look and what you go through. So stay true to yourself, set boundaries, and set respect.
Okay, I want to talk about something that's been floating on social media real quick.
Can I get some more champagne?
Absolutely. There were clips that I saw last night that you got into a physical fight with your wife's boyfriend. Talk about it.
There were no clips of us fighting. There was no clips of us fighting, but all I'm gonna say is...
No, everybody's posting about it. That you got into a fight last night, or yesterday, or...
I would just say that there was an altercation that occurred based on this, right? Based on lies, right?
Okay.
Right?
How did he get involved between... Well, it's messy, but how did you...
I need to protect the integrity of the show, right?
Talk around it.
Okay.
But speak to it.
Let's just say that let's just say that me and Ken had understanding, right, in real life. Let's take the reality shit out of this. Let's talk about real life, because I live in real life. I don't live... One thing about this, Queen Shiba, what I've learned is there's truth in reality, and nobody gives a fuck about the truth, right? Nobody gives a fuck about the truth, so we're gonna live in reality. In that moment, we were having a moment. He decided to live in reality TV. I decided to live in real life. He became disrespectful based on some information saying that I was lying. You feel like he was putting on for the camera. Absolutely. And you feel after we had real, genuine conversations via text, via person, fuck a camera. Because I'm very, that's one thing I think what I've understand and I'm okay with harnessing is that I'm never going to not be fake, right? So whether they hate me or love me, I'm going to be true to myself. And that's why I'm here. I was never supposed to be on this show. Okay. It was only supposed to be a guest appearance. But they didn't do their research. They play with God's children, because I'm very much, my mama says, I've been praying for you every day. My mama is a fan of the show since day one. She's a fan of yours, by the way. She loves you. She loves you, and she can't even listen to you. Even though I don't think you've been as biased as some of these other bloggers, she can't take it. And that's what people have to understand is, and what I've realized is we're here, and it affects everybody around me. So I know now it's like, I have to stay true to me, and I have to get my story out. So there was a clash of realities. There was a clash of reality. Television, yeah. And he tried to hold me. He tried to hold me. I'm a grown man, right? You're not going to posture up on me. You're not going to tell me you're going to kick me out or you're going to throw me out. Who swung first?
that you can remember? He swung first?
Yeah.
Okay. He was the aggressor.
He had paper in my face.
Okay, got it.
I knocked the paper out, and then he came after me.
So it sounds like, and I'm a pretty smart woman, that he wanted you to sign something.
No. He was trying to tell me that I'm lying.
Gotcha.
And that the receipts they had that were altered.
Gotcha.
But we got the real receipts, my guy. So the receipts that you guys are showing with all this extra shit was amended.
What was the small difference between what you have and what they had?
It was an entire document with my children's name, which is false.
It seemed like they were included.
She had it modified because the day that I found out that it was some bullshit, I text Ken. I was like, yo, did you know that this motherfucker said we have children? He was like, oh, man, I told her that wasn't right. So what she did was, so now she's trying to backtrack because she thought I wasn't going to realize.
Got it.
She thought I was going to sign it and be cool, right? But what happened is now that I've said it on camera, right? I've already put it out there. She's backtracking.
So now they got to go back.
Now she has to sit here and act like I'm lying, but you can't lie when this is an original document, yo.
So they had a modified version that he presented.
Facts.
And then you still have yours.
And you will see it.
Gotcha.
And you're going to see it. And when you see it months from now, Queen Shiba, you got gold. You've seen it for yourself. I don't, look, I'm going to tell you one thing, yo. I don't have no reason to lie.
No, that's okay. Leave it there. Last but not least, how do you feel finding out that the man that lives in your home has a criminal record of trafficking marijuana? That was just released on the internet. Hold that thought. Hold that thought. You know what? We're going to continue this conversation. Thank you for tuning in. There will be a part 2. Thank you, everybody.